Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out, I went to Britain's most brutal football game. Workington, Uppies, and Downies. What's going on? It's a game?
Hi everyone and
Workington.
welcome to March 2024, and I'm in the very proud working class town of Workington, high up on the northwestern coast of Cumbria. Often forgotten and overlooked place, but incredibly rich with history, which is why I've come here today on Easter weekend at the very end of March, Good Friday actually, to see something incredibly historic, incredibly important and incredibly fascinating. It's going to be an amazing thing, and it's a game which takes place over 3 separate days, over a week. It's a historic game, it's a brutal game, it involves the entire town virtually, and it all kicks off on this rather ordinary looking footbridge right here.
What? It takes place over a week? It's a game which takes place over 3 separate days over a week. Okay. Oh. These balls. Wait. Okay. I thought this was going to be a straight up football game, like European football on a field. Soccer. But I get the feeling it's something more. Starts on a bridge.
And it all kicks off on this rather ordinary looking footbridge right here.
Okay.
Recently, I've been trying to get to some of Britain's most traditional yet most unusual festivals and events, and this month I've headed north to the remote northwestern corner of England in search of the oldest known sport in our land.
Workington. The name Workington for a working class town just sounds like it's in a movie script. Show me all the map. There it is. Yeah? Okay. Wait, is it? It's way north of Liverpool. It's almost in Scotland. It is way up there, isn't it? On the coast. Nice. Beautiful. A swan. Cars. Workington. Building. Clouds. Buildings. A canal. A sailboat. Don't know what that is. Oh, rocky coast. Art. A marina. Train station. Cathedral. Lighthouse. Monument. Clouds and a building. Marina. Flowers. A dike. Cathedral. Post office, maybe? Beaver dam. Marina. Dog. Oh, yeah. Oh, is that a golden retriever? They're the best. Okay, let's stop thinking about dogs. Let's get back to the video. Now we know where Workington is.
So there's a couple of reasons I've come all this way to see this game, and not just because it's something unusual happening in March for my list, but also because it's a very early form of football. It's like what you'd imagine town football would look like centuries ago, when there's no rules and regulations, when 2 teams of indeterminate numbers could oppose each other with a very simple goal: to get a ball from one place to another and to stop your opponent getting the ball where they want it to go.
Wait. Is this the thing where they fight in the streets to try to get the ball, and whoever has the ball after however long wins? Is that what this is? I've heard of this.
There's much more to it than just that. It isn't just an open game which involves the town centre, the fields here, the River Derwent here. That gets involved sometimes, a lot of the time in fact. But it isn't just about that, it isn't just a free-for-all. There's something very important about this game to this town, and that's what I want to delve into.
Y'all before I forget, be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe. He recommended this video for me. He's a nice guy.
Why do so many people get so passionate about this game? How fun is it? How scary is it? What does it mean to the people who win? What does it mean to the people who lose? What's the rivalry like between the 2 sides? Why do the 2 sides exist as they are? And more importantly, what does it mean to the town as a whole? What does it mean to the town's heritage and its history? Because that is the most important thing. This is Nutty, a player, 3-time winner, and one of those rare people you sometimes come across that everyone just seems to know.
You are what you eat, Nutty.
Now, I'd been passed his number a couple of days before, and he'd very kindly agreed to meet me before the game and talk on camera about it. Not only that, but he'd rounded up a group of lads, all players past and present, who were eager to talk about the game and show me around the town.
Elvo, Bomber, Tut, Nutty, and Robert. These are some lads, y'all. I want to party with these guys.
And what is, like, for people who don't know, what is the general purpose of the game?
It's just...
How do you play it?
It's just like a big rugby scrum.
Yeah.
Everybody just comes down to the Clothic Bridge, 6:30, throw off, ball throw off.
Yeah.
And it's just all for all.
It's just a free-for-all.
Everyone's for the sell, it's all for all.
Is there,
yeah.
I think you're saying there's no rules at all, is there?
There's no rules at all. We come up with a rule. It was spoiling the game, people jumping in cars and taking it up and down.
Yeah.
And a woman jumped in and stopped that.
Yeah.
And said we don't want that happening again. And it hasn't happened since.
Okay.
So you're both players?
Yeah.
So I think what he said was that someone got the ball and jumped in a car and drove off, and then they won by cheating, basically. That's the one rule. You can't do that.
You're both Uppies?
Yeah.
And are you both winners?
I am.
I'm
I'm a three-time winner.
Three-time winner?
Yep.
Just your first time today?
I won't win, Jan. I won't. I'm too old now. Too old now.
Is this like a very early version of rugby then? Is that a way to think about it, or is that the wrong way to think about it?
I don't know. It's...
Well, they reckon it's an early game of football, don't they?
Yeah, it was called football.
Street football.
Mass football.
Street
Yeah.
football.
Okay.
Mass street football, it was called years ago. We've got in an exhibition in the FA's museum. Yeah, the football. They say this is the first form of football.
So it could go back centuries and
Roman
centuries.
times. But yeah, I reckon they used to do it in the Roman times with the Roman's head, but we haven't got one of them to prove it, to be fair.
They used to use a Roman's head? Y'all, people back in the day were hardcore savages.
Nutty was about then, mine, but he never got one.
If you Google traditional town football, you'll be forgiven for thinking that this is a game that originated in Ashbourne, Derbyshire, where it's known as Royal Shrovetide football and is still played today with hundreds of players and thousands of spectators. Ashbourne gets the limelight mostly because it was given royal assent by the Prince
that's
of
where
Wales.
I've heard of it.
Twice, in
Ashbourne.
fact. In 1928, the then Prince Edward, later Edward VIII, threw the ball off to start the game. And in 2003, Prince Charles, later Charles III, did likewise. But town football, or mob football as it's sometimes known, dates back to at least the medieval period, and probably centuries before that. In fact, it's perfectly reasonable to argue that this kind of game has been going on as long as humans have been able to kick and throw a ball of some kind around their village, which is a very long time indeed. In medieval England, it was common to find such games up and down the British Isles, sometimes between teams within a village, sometimes between two different villages. And yes, it could have started with heads. But the fact is, today this ancient game is still played up and down the country, and in places like Workington, which are much more remote to, say, Derbyshire, the game has kept a kind of raw edge. It may have concrete dates in the diary every year, but there's no committee and no permission. It's just a happening. The authorities stay out of it. This is purely a game for the people, by the people.
Wow, I feel like if we tried this in America, the cops would show up and start shooting people.
And a sacred object at the centre of this ancient game is this. A tough little ball made from 4 pieces of leather and stuffed with, these days, wool flock.
Oh.
Each one is handmade in a town, polished and printed with the date. And because there are 3 games each Easter, 3 balls are made, letting whoever hails the ball at the end of the game keep it as a prize.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough that, like...
Yeah, it's 2.5 mil.
Small medicine ball.
2.5 mil thick.
Yeah.
The leather is.
Like, that's not going to pop.
No, it definitely won't pop.
Is it a new ball every year then?
Yeah, there's 3 made every year, 1 for each game.
And it's handmade?
Handmade. It takes just over 30 hours. He's made it on his back kitchen table for the last 45 years.
Wow.
They'll be coming up 50 years in a couple of years.
Right, okay.
And I think he's on about retiring.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get someone else in to make them.
Yeah, definitely. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Workington, the game was...
Each ball takes 30 man-hours to make? And this one guy's making them? Yeah. That's 90 hours total, divided by, let's say he gives himself an 8-hour day. Oh. 11 days straight of sewing balls.
Works like this. There are two teams, the Uppies and the Downies, both hailing from different sides of the River Derwent. The object of the game is to hail the ball into the air 3 times at a predetermined place that remains the same each year for each team. The Uppies must take the ball about a mile to Workington Hall, and the Downies to this point here at the docks. And as Nutty said, there aren't any rules.
So each team has it's like a goal across the town. Wow.
This point here at the docks. And as Nutty said, there aren't any rules, so the ball could travel way off course, taking in other parts of town if necessary, and could ping back and forth for a long time before victory. Hands, feet, by force of the scrum or by subterfuge. All that matters is that the ball gets either here to the docks or here to the hall.
Wow, that sounds brutal.
So this is the hailing point.
This is the Cowan Hall, yeah.
For the Uppies.
For the Uppies, yeah.
Why this point? Like, what's important about this point?
There used to be a bell. Yeah, they used to ring the bell 3 times when the game was over.
Right,
to say the game had been finished.
Yeah.
And you got a sovereign off the Cowan.
Yeah.
And the brewer used to give them so much beer.
You were saying before that this is the oldest game of its type in Britain.
This game is the oldest recorded mass football game still played today. In the Cumberland Packet in 1751, they were interviewing a guy, and they asked him how long it had been played, and he says, and it was stated this is the ancient game of Workington's mass football. It was massive years ago. It was bigger than the FA Cup.
Yeah.
There was 25,000 folk on the Clothics watching this game. They fetched special trains in from all over.
Wow.
With folk to come and watch
People used to play in the best of gear.
Yeah.
Because they used to go to church every morning.
Them with all the caps and
weird suits.
Oh, and the Sunday best.
Wow.
Yes. Like you see some of the old folk.
What a sight.
Amazing.
Oh, God.
Why is it kind of been forgotten a little bit then? Like you say, my reports
Workington hasn't forgot about it.
Yeah. We haven't forgotten. It's in our blood.
Why does Ashbourne get all the credit? Get all the
because they got a royal warrant from...
We don't want ours that big.
Right.
Because then we'll have to have public liability.
Oh, that's a
good
point. Yeah.
Then we don't want all that. We want ours left as it is. Just plays happening.
Yeah.
That's all our game is happening.
Yeah.
We try to avoid any damage at all. We don't want to cause any damage. We want our game to carry on.
Yeah.
It's for Workington, and Workington needs this game. We've got no industries left. They've all gone.
It's one thing to try and understand the history of the Uppies and Downies game here. It's another to try and understand why it matters so much in the 21st century. And why other places like Ashbourne might play it because it's purely traditional. In Workington, there seems to be something a little deeper.
Oh, interesting. Wow, their industry is all gone. God, look at these kids on a dock. They're just throwing rocks in the water. These kids need jobs. They need a job at the Orange Julius at the mall, but there's no mall. They need a job in the coal mines, but there's no coal mines left. They look bored. They wait all year for this game. These kids, nothing else to do. No internet. No video games. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they have that stuff.
It's not only Workington's game that has been ignored. Look at the Wikipedia page for the history of Workington, and the history seems to stop at 1828 for some reason. But do some proper digging, and the true scale of the town's illustrious history is obvious. A fortified settlement during Roman times, Workington really took off in the 19th century, when Henry Bessemer introduced his revolutionary steelmaking process here, transforming this port town into the centre of steel production in the region.
That's huge.
Status it would hold for over 100 years.
Huh.
The huge amount of hematite iron ore around here and a large coal field nearby made the Moss Bay Steelworks the first large-scale steelworks in the world. The iron ore also made the town a large exporter of iron, with a new, much larger dock opened in 1865.
Yo, this seems like it would be a hugely rich area, doesn't it? With all this stuff going on? Where'd the money go? Who got that money? Right? Where'd the money go?
It was said that the number of railway tracks exported from Workington held the world together. The usual mixture of privatisation and general post-industrial decline saw both the steel and coal industries disappear in the latter half of the 20th century. British Leyland Buses did open a factory here in the 70s, but that too closed in 1993.
Okay.
Today the town survives, as many northern coastal towns do these days, without much outside help. It gets by with a mix of small industries and a strong sense of pride.
Like what? What industries? I'm curious.
Yeah, so not long left to go now before the game starts. The lads have just told me as well, like, because he's...
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What industries? Coastal town and civil parish at the mouth of the blah blah blah. The area around Workington was long a producer of coal and steel. Wow. The name Workington doesn't come from, oh, working class, call it Workington, like I was thinking. Well, it was first attested in an Anglo-Saxon charter of 948 as Workington, spelled totally different. It appears Workingetona in about 1150, meaning the town or settlement of work or works people, W-I-R-C. What industries are there now? After coal and steel. After the loss of the two industries on which Workington was built, coal and steel, Workington and the whole of West Cumbria became an unemployment black spot. Industries in the town today include chemicals, cardboard, the docks, waste management, and recycling old computers for export, mainly to poorer countries. The town also houses the British Cattle Movement Service, a government agency set up to oversee the British beef and dairy industry after the BSE crisis in Britain. It is based in the former steelworks offices. Many Workington residents are employed outside the town in the nuclear industry located in and around Sellafield, West Cumbria's dominant employment sector. Okay.
This has come early this year. It's actually overlapped into the end of March, and the clocks haven't gone forward yet. That today we'll lose daylight quite quickly, so the kick-off is at, or tip-off, throw-off is at 6:30, and I think sunset's about 7. So yeah, it's going to get dark. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So part of the problem with this game...
Wait. I'm wondering, does it only end when one of the teams gets it to their goal? Or is there a time limit?
...fully organised and having a committee or council oversight or anything like that, is this made it very difficult to actually speak to somebody about the actual game which is taking place. So I managed to get Nutty's number, who's a player.
Nutty.
He's been playing it a long time. And he's very kindly rounded up a load of guys from you know, mates of his from Uppies, and spoken to people from the Downies as well, and they're so knowledgeable. They've been amazing. They've taken me around the town. They've given me a tour of Workington, and the knowledge, the depth of knowledge is fantastic. But most of what I've learned has been off camera. So every now and again I've had to say, no, let's say.
I need to take a moment. I have the hiccups, y'all.
Again, on camera, please.
For Tuesday of Shrove Tuesday. You've got Shrove Tuesday. Then you've got one down in, is it Cornwall, where they play with that little silver ball?
But yeah, it's just been amazing. What an amazing day. And the game's not even started yet. The Trades Hall Social Club is the base for the Uppies and was heaving with players and supporters, all drinking, laughing and gearing themselves up for the big game.
Pre-drinking? Pre-game drinking, y'all. I guess you gotta numb the pain somehow.
Now, with this being the first game for nearly a year, a sense of excitement ran through the club like electricity, and even a spot of drizzly rain outside didn't dampen spirits. Suddenly it was time to leave the comfort of the club behind and head down the hill to the bridge over the beck, where a huge
Y'all, I don't think I could do this. I'm getting anxious just watching.
Ready to watch the first of this year's games begin. I'll be honest, at first sight this looked like the kind of crowd a city slicker like me might avoid. Scores of teenagers, hyper-masculine energy and police floating about
I bet.
nearby.
Yeah.
But very quickly I realised this was completely wrong. The crowd was friendly, excited, there were lots of women, smaller children and older people there. It was a family event. I'd expected to find a crowd of tough lads cheering and jeering and watching the game through gritted teeth. Instead, I saw smiling. Lots of smiling. Elvin had suggested when the game begins to stand pretty much where these photographers were, but I was late to the party and a thick crowd had already gathered there, blocking the way. Instead, I watched the ball hurled into the air from over here, which seemed like a safe distance to be.
Yeah.
However, the ball quickly got buried beneath a scrum of about 20 or 30 people, all heaving and battling to try and get it into their grasp. And for some reason this made me confident enough to get closer. As close as I possibly could without actually becoming part of the scrum myself.
How do they know if you're an uppie or a downy? Do you just recognize the faces, or is there like a uniform color?
The scrum was intense but not very mobile at first, and I had half a mind on what might happen when it broke and someone came away with the ball. Or the ball was suddenly flung into the air, loose, free into the open. The Uppies would want to get the ball this way, either across the car park or along the black path, and the Downies would either head to the Tesco or, more likely, head across this land here and into the freezing waters of the River Derwent.
Into the water?
Now I tried to keep on my toes, ready to run in either direction to keep up with the ball, or, more likely at this point, get out of the way in case the ball came loose at my feet like a grenade.
Yeah.
They like... A good tactic for them is to float it down the river.
Well, they'll swim down with the river, yeah, which is a man. Which is best luck to them. They deserve it.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That,
oh, it's dangerous. We have had 4 deaths over the years.
4 deaths?
4 deaths, drownings.
In the river?
Yeah.
Story died in the river?
Yes, Robert Story. He was the last one, 1983.
What about the other ones?
Oh, they were older. They were a long time back, yeah.
However, after about 20 minutes of this...
I thought he was saying there's 4 deaths every year. But, okay, there's been 4 deaths since 1828.
A long time back, yeah.
However, after about 20 minutes of this, I began to realise that this game might be less a spectator sport and more about participation. I hadn't seen the ball since the very beginning. It was strange to feel grateful then when the scrum entered the beck and the struggle was now water-based. The water was so cold and the banks on either side so steep, I wondered if they would ever get out again. The lads had been telling me all day that the most likely way someone would win was if they managed to sneak the ball under their shirt and then slip away from the scrum unnoticed. While that seemed unlikely to happen in the water, I began to wonder if that opportunity just never came. This game could, as Nutty had told me, last until the early hours.
Really?
So you were saying that sometimes the games can last...
It can last can last 2 minutes, or it can last into the day after.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There has been a ball healed the day after. The lad worked on the docks, and he put it in his locker when he went to work. And then he held it with the security guard the next morning.
Oh, right, okay. How long, apart from that, which sounds a bit naughty, how long is it up and down?
It does sound naughty.
It can last on a
hours?
4 hours, 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it is physical draining like it is.
By now the sun had set and the light was fading fast. Bit by bit it became more and more difficult to see what was going on in the scrum. It meant I had to turn up the exposure on my cameras so the footage looks slightly grainy. However, I was loving the atmosphere and the sense of excitement amongst the crowd. Despite the fact the ball was still within spitting distance of the bridge, the sense that it could come loose at any moment created a real buzz in the air. At one point 2 scrums formed and for a while it seemed no one really knew where the ball was.
Oh?
The game was barely an hour old when darkness fell, and despite having 2 cameras and multiple batteries, I soon realised...
Yo, I would make a fake ball, hide that under my shirt and switch it.
I had barely any battery left to film. Another realisation then hit me: if the ball came loose, I might miss it and not get to film anything. I'd come all this way and miss the big finale. It was 7:45, I had to think fast. Gamble and head to one of the endpoints, hoping I picked the winning one.
No.
Or use the last of my battery to shoot a quick ending to the video.
Get in there.
With the game still ongoing behind me. I've just been down on the riverside. I thought I crossed onto the wrong side of the river because apart from the footbridge there's really no way of crossing apart from going through the water. And I thought, oh dang, I'm on the wrong side. But then it went into the water and then it muscled around there for a little bit, and then suddenly the ball flew up over my head into the trees above my head, and everybody just crowded around, and I thought, I'm in the wrong place. Just stepped out a minute. It's not scary though, it's just it's like a mosh pit at a concert. You don't want to be caught in it, but it's fun to see. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Right, so light's about to go, and you can see there's still a lot of people here. In fact, there's more people than before. And this is like a festival, and there's not anything else going on except that one ball moving about. But it's just brought everybody out. There's people chilling out in the car park here. There's people chilling out in the cars over there. People just socialising around this. And
yeah, this is much more chill than I expected.
kids, look at that, kids running about. It's just it's fascinating, it's honestly. And I don't mean that from like a pompous top-down view. I just mean like, I've never been to anything like this before. And to see it bring the town out and together, and there's a togetherness as well, which is, I don't know, because it's a sport, it's one side versus another, but there's a big togetherness in the air, and I like it.
Nice.
But yeah, never thought I'd stand in a Travelodge car park at dusk talking to a camera in front of thousands of people.
Hey, the world's a crazy place.
So yeah, the sun is going down now. The sun is actually set and the light is disappearing very quickly. It's going to be dark here in a few minutes. And the rules are the game, it could just carry on. It could carry on till dawn. It could carry on another 10-15 minutes, however long it takes to get the ball wherever it's got to go. So I'm going to hang around, see what happens. But in case I don't see you, this is it. It's been a fantastic, it's been an eye-opening experience here in Workington.
No. Head over to a store and get another SD card and a battery, right?
It's such a fantastic town with such a rich history. And this, like it or not, and I do, some people might not, but like it or not, this is a rich part of that history, it's a big part of that history. And it's today, it's history, it's living history, it's still happening today. It's not like the shipyards, it's not like the coal mines, this is still going on. And like the lads have told me, this is their Christmas, and this is one of the only things they've got left. And it brings people together. So yeah, that's your March Festival. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Wait. That's it?
But then, off camera, Nuts informed me that the ball had been hailed, that the game had been won, and that it was a victory to the Uppies. We raced to the old hall on the hill just in time to see the hero of the hour being carried down on people's shoulders.
Hey.
At last I caught sight of the ball for the first time since it had flown into the trees above me. The Uppies had won it.
All right.
Give a crack with him.
That's the guy.
This is the ball, mate, yeah. How did you do it? So it was in the scrum, I was on the outskirts of the scrum, it just landed at my feet. Yeah. Just picked it up, just put it on my top and just walked off. Just Luke and Simons are just walking away.
Anyone who tried to test it?
A couple hundred yards away, and then there's... I liked it. No, well, there's one at Downies, just like appeared out the back. Luke fucking fired him out the way, and we legged it up to the castle. Amazing. Now we got...
Wow.
How's it?
Yo, when he said people hide it under their shirt, I thought that would be impossible, because everybody's looking at this thing. But that's exactly how the guy wanted.
Feel like you become like
probably the most amazing feeling you'll ever experience in your life. Yeah. Everybody in the town wants one of them.
Yeah.
And he's played pro rugby.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's better feeling.
Who did you play?
I played for Workington.
Oh, brilliant, okay.
Yeah, so the stadium's just over there.
The best feeling of the game is when you hear that ball.
Yeah.
You'll never get a feeling like it. The adrenaline's berserk.
Yeah.
It's just a good coming together. You get a lot of friends out of it.
Yeah.
Because camaraderie. There's fighting, but when the game's finished, you have a pint. It's all over. Everything's forgot about. And there you go. That's it. With my last bit of battery,
what time is
I managed to get an interview with John Irving, the fellow who did it. The fellow who had hailed the ball 3 times over at a Castley thing, and I went for the Uppies. And it's been a fantastic day. I can't believe it. That was pure luck. That I bumped into Nutty, who said, "Quick, follow me," and we ran up here, and yeah, amazing. But that's it. My battery's literally dying now. So, last breath of the day, fantastic. One night in Workington. It's just getting started for those lads. They've gone to the British Legion, and they're going to have a few drinks. And yeah, what a day! What a fantastic day! So thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Well, years ago, one of the balls was hailed in a pram.
It was either.
A guy walked.
What?
A guy walking. No, but that's another story. A guy near the Lamb pub, who made pub,
into the woman with the pram,
and he put the ball inside the pram and put the pram down the street down to the thing and hailed the ball.
Strategy.
But there was another story of a fella Did the bus move out?
He was in the bus station and the old fella seen the ball back of the, so he picked it up.
Put it in his shopping bag, got on the bus and went. Went nailed it. Got off at next stop and went nailed it.
That's what I mean with no rails. That's the fun of it.
Just behind us now, we used to be allotments. And the lads used to, the people with the allotments used to stand in, the ball would get scooped up, and it'd be like tennis, the ball getting back and forward
and
with the old men.
With pitchforks and stuff.
Yeah, you know, coming in there.
Coming over this fence.
Wow. The ball was hailed at the docks by the Downies at game 2, bringing the score 1-1. Oh, the next day. Second game. It returned to the hall the Saturday after, granting the Uppies a 2-1 victory. Okay. No Romans lost their head in the making of this video. Damn it. Hey, they got wind turbines there. I'm impressed. City of the future. Look at that mountain in the background. This year's Uppies and Downies games raised hundreds of pounds for Andy's Man Club. The charity seeks to end the stigma of men talking about mental health problems. Oh, that's important. Y'all be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe. This was fascinating. This was not what I expected. I expected an all-out brawl, super aggressive, machismo, intense anger, physical brutality, blood, dislocated jaws, broken ligaments, hyperextended knees. But no, lots of good brotherhood. Clever strategy. This was great. Y'all be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.